I'm Izzy Kalman, Director of Beliefs to Buddies. And Annie, please introduce yourself.
I'm Annie Libertalis. I'm a leadership coach and creator of a graceful balancing act.
And personally, I highly recommend her to the viewers. If you need a coach, Annie is wonderful. She's very smart. She's has a broad range of knowledge, and she's a wonderful person.
Thank you.
What we're doing here was we're having a demonstration of why people have difficulties over political discussions and how they can make them better. And the real tragedy is when couples fight because of their political views. And in recent years, I think there's never been such tough fighting between couples as recently because of our president and the election, the campaign of Biden and Trump. So what do you do if you're fighting your spouse and your spouse is fighting you over the candidates that you support? I'm going to do role plays with Annie. You have to realize that what we're presenting here are not necessarily our own political views. It's role play, it's acting. So please don't come to any conclusions about who we prefer in reality. This is make-believe. Annie, let's say I am a Trump supporter and you're a Biden supporter. Okay. And you're my spouse, and you're going to attack me because I'm a Trump supporter.
All right. Shall we start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Izzy, I know it's no news that you would have voted for Trump, but I really can't believe that after he's done all of what he's done in the last 4 years, and especially in this last year, that you voted for him.
Trump has done so many good things. People just look at the negative. People who don't like Trump take everything he does and they say it's no good, no matter how good it may be objectively.
Even if he does some good things, the way you call it, like, he still has blood on his hands. There's more than 200,000 Americans that are dead. There's
he killed them. It's a virus that killed him. Trump controls the virus. The experts aren't sure about how to control the virus. Why are you blaming Trump?
Because it takes leadership to stop a virus. The virus is the virus.
A leader is going to talk to the viruses and make the viruses stop bothering us.
I'm sorry?
What, the leader is going to talk to the viruses and tell them to stop bothering us?
It's going to talk to the people and make people wear masks and do the right thing that is based on science to stop the virus from spreading. It's not that we can just stop the virus, but we can stop the virus.
There are many scientists that think that the masks are counterproductive. It's not an unmitigated good. There are negative parts about using masks.
Okay. Well, apparently, clearly, mask hasn't stopped him from getting the virus, but it may still save lives. And I think that it's important for a leader to show the good example. Also, he just lets children, like, separated from their parents. There are over 500 children that we can't find their parents, and they're locked up. I don't know how you that I love and care about,
the border with Mexico.
I know how great of a father you are. And yet you can vote for someone that would let children in cages separated from their parents. And then
that is not Trump's policies. The country was doing that even when Obama was the president. Obama, those cages were created during the mandate of Obama.
And how many children have we not been able to find their parents, even if it was created, as you said, back in the Obama days?
This is not a new problem. It's just that everything that's bad is blamed on Trump. Trump did not create the situation. Trump is protecting us. We have many fewer illegal immigrants now coming into our country and hurting our local workforce.
Yeah, because he's saying that all of the problems are on immigrants. He's not condemning extreme white supremacists. He tells them to stand by.
That is not true. Don't you listen? He very clearly condemned white supremacists. He did it on many occasions.
It's
what are you laughing about?
We don't have. If he believes that there are people on both sides when we're talking about white supremacists that he apparently condemned, and then saying that there are people on both sides, I don't think that that's really condemning. And I had a higher hope that that we could share values, and the fact that you could vote for a phony person that is clearly
About half the country voted for him. Are half of the country wrong? How can you just say
that's
that
a very
half of
good
the
question,
country?
but I'm not married to half the country. I'm married to you, and if you can vote for someone that is dehumanizing people, then that gets to the core of my morals and my values, of morals and ethics and everything that's related to that.
Oh,
And
you think
that's really important
Biden
to
has
me.
such wonderful ethics? He uses his role to help his family members become rich. What has he done in 47 years? Can you tell me some positive thing he's done in 47 years? He's just a good talker, and he's a career politician. That's all he is.
So somebody that may have done things in not so obvious terms is somebody that you would compare the morale still to Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump is dividing our country.
I'm.
And
This is
he and
not.
talking about family, like, have you
The
seen
people
better
are dividing the
nepotism
country.
than
The
Donald Trump?
leftists are dividing. The
Points people
leftists
that
are.
are totally not like called for, that are just his family, as his most trusted advisor. I mean, have you seen, like, this is not the kind of democracy or
Are you talking
appointment
about?
that is
You're talking
really
about
like,
Jared Kushner and his daughter. Is that who you're talking about?
I think it goes beyond that, but I think that
So what are you
more
talking about?
importantly,
He has
no,
done
but
great things. There are people, just because people hate Trump, everything he does, they look at it in a negative way. Biden, he flip flops all the time. He's always changed his opinions. Because he's a politician, he does what is needed to get votes.
look,
Trump,
I don't want
Trump
to
ran
I don't want to
because
continue arguing. Obviously you have your opinion and you're clearly just barking at me, and I don't like to be barked at.
you're attacking me for what I voted for. I didn't attack you for voting for Biden. If you want to vote
I'm
for
saying
Biden,
I'm
God bless
really
you, but it's my right
disappointed
to
in
vote for
that it
Trump.
puts into question the core values that I have, because if you can
I
vote
have
for
very
someone
good
that is so
values. But
immoral.
I don't have, I have very good values. Okay. Annie, let's stop it here. Now, if you're my spouse, so you're going to like me for the way I'm treating you.
No.
Am I making you want to stop saying that it's a mistake for me to vote for Trump?
No, I mean, I want to continue saying it's wrong, or I want to stop the conversation.
And you're even attacking my own values as though by supporting Trump, my personal values are terrible. Am I making you happy that you married me?
Definitely not.
Was I treating you like a friend or an enemy? By the way, these are questions that I always ask people when I work with them. You know, I do this for any kind of situation. Was I treating you like a friend or an enemy?
An enemy.
You know, I'm angry at you. I'm defending myself. People don't realize it, but defense is also treating the other side like an enemy. Defense is something you do against an enemy. So by defending myself and defending Trump, I'm treating you like an enemy. You treat me back like an enemy. Could you respect me for the way I was acting?
No.
I look like an idiot. How can you respect me? Now we're going to do it again, and this time I'm going to treat you like a friend. And you know, try really hard to put me down for having voted for Trump.
Okay. Look, we've been married for so many years, and I know how great of a father and how great of a human you are.
Oh, thank
And
you.
the fact that you could vote for such an immoral liar like Donald Trump is making me want to vomit. I mean, I know people that are on Facebook, and they would just remove friends that are voting for Trump because
I know.
it's core to their morals, and they're like, I cannot even be friends with you, and we're actually married. Like, it's really making me ask like much deeper question about our marriage and whether we really belong together, because like you're voting for someone that can just lie up front and get away with it, and is putting into jeopardy our democracy.
Andy, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Biden is always honest and truthful?
I think he's not putting into question our democracy. Like, if he lost the election, he would lose it and just let it go. The fact that Trump said even before he got the results of the election, said that he would not do a peaceful transfer of power, shows that we can't have a leader in a democracy that's putting into question democracy. So it's a very core issue.
No, voting for Trump was not an easy decision. I don't see Trump as the model of the way people should be. I think he has
Well, how
some
can you
terrible
vote for him? I mean, is Biden that bad that you're making a protest vote for Trump because you believe that Biden is the pure evil and that Trump is actually like a lesser evil?
What did I say, that Biden is
No, but
pure
I'm
evil?
asking you because for me this
No,
is like
Biden is not pure evil. The thing is, there are very few politicians that are saints.
okay.
Saints, first of all, don't tend to go into politics. And even many people who start out saintly, once they get involved in politics, they become corrupt. It's very, very difficult not to become corrupted in politics. You have so many pressures
And
upon
Trump is like pushing it to the next level. Seriously, like
I want to stop it now. I want to stop it now.
Okay.
If I do, you like me better this way?
Oh yes, definitely.
Could you respect me more?
Yes.
If I treat you this way, would you consider divorcing me because I voted for Trump?
No, because I think that what happens here is that we go beyond sort of the surface issue and we go into sort of your feeling. You've owned the fact that maybe it wasn't an easy decision. You're explaining why, and it goes much deeper because you're in a position where you can share that. And I'm also in a mindset where I can hear it.
That's right. You know, when people are fighting over politics and considering getting divorced, they think that the problem is their difference in political views and who they voted for. That is not the real problem. That's only the thing that we're arguing about. The real problem is that I'm treating you like an enemy for having voted for somebody else. That's the problem. When I get angry at you, if I get angry at you for voting for Biden instead of Trump, that's what destroys the relationship. The anger, the treating you like you're against me and putting you down and you putting me down. But if I treat you with respect and I recognize that you're intelligent and you have good reasons for voting for Biden and that it was difficult for me to decide to vote for Trump, but I have reasons, you won't divorce me over it because I'm treating you like a friend. Why would you leave somebody who's nice to you just because we have different opinions? You know, one of the nice things about democracy, and excuse me if I'm lecturing, the nice thing about democracy is that people have the right to vote for different people, and it doesn't mean they're enemies. We're all on the same side. We're all Americans or citizens of the same country. We're all on the same side, but we're allowed to have different political opinions.
Yeah, I agree about we're living in a democracy, and I think it's also important, as you said, that that the mindset that we go into the conversation, and if we're angry in those things, really change sort of the outcome of the conversation. And when you think about that, we think about the fact that it's highly emotional because it taps into our core values and our core belief and our ethics and morality. And I think that that's where the sensitivities go, and that's why it's tapping a sensitive chord, and that's why people get emotional and angry. And I think to be able to go back into seeing other people as a friend, it really takes several things. One, it requires going to acknowledging our feeling and what we're feeling as an anger, or we're feeling triggered, and sort of taking the time to calm our body, literally breathe it out, and then take a moment to change our mindset and try to be curious about what the other person might think. What is the belief and the value beyond and behind what they're actually saying? Why did they vote for Trump? Was it an easy decision? Like, really, what values at stake here? And talk about it. And it's really an opportunity for the couple to actually connect at a deeper level if they actually listen to one another. And it's no easy task, like, trust me, I know, but it's worth the effort, because once we tap into understanding our values and keeping our feeling and our mindset and our approach as a friendly approach that you mentioned at check, then it can come out a much more fruitful relationship and a more diverse that can bring a lot of things together.
Exactly. The fact that we have different opinions about who to vote for gives us the opportunity to examine values. And you're right. You're right.
Yep.
But one thing I want to say is that we think that it's hard to treat the person like a friend because they have, even though they have different political values. We role play 2 times. Which time was I working harder?
You were working harder when you were being busy interrupting me and like trying to
Yeah,
convince me that I was wrong without listening to or showing me that you were listening.
right. The first time when I was treating you like an enemy, that was hard. My blood pressure is going up. My voice is going up. I'm becoming hostile, and I'm getting all of the wrong results. I'm making you want to leave me, but I'm working hard. But treating you like a friend is easy. I just have to realize that you have a right to your opinion. I love you even though you have a different opinion. I'm willing to talk to you about anything and to listen to you. And then it can strengthen the relationship instead of destroying it. But it's not hard. It requires understanding that people have a right to different views and we're still friends.
Yeah. And I think that reframe is really important because once we're able to understand, okay, I know what I believe, but I may not be right, or like maybe I don't own the truth, then hearing out another person's view, it's much easier when we're in that mindset. And that's what is core to friendship, is being able to take somebody else's input and respect it and acknowledge it and welcome it.
Right. By the way, would you like to do a reverse role play where you're the Trump supporter and I'm the Biden supporter?
Sure.
Because I want the viewers to see that it doesn't matter which side you're taking.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm the Biden supporter and put me down for having supported Biden.
Easy. I feel like there's so much uncertainty in this world. And what I really believe in is that Trump can actually get us out of this with great leadership. And I don't see our
Great
country
leadership.
going.
He's a dictator. The guy is a dictator. He went into, when he was elected, he treated Congress like he's the CEO and they have to do whatever he says. He treated them like they're his company.
And and see what he's done. He has managed to get things done. The economy was booming before Corona. He has created
The economy was
bridges in the Middle
before.
East that have never been done ever before. I mean, this guy gets
Yeah,
things done.
make
So
this
yes,
big
he's
wall to separate us.
unorthodox and he may not be a saint, but
Wall.
he
We
gets
need
things
walls, a
done.
3,000-mile wall between us and Mexico. Who needs a big wall like that?
Well, you know what? Sometimes if you think about structures and how structures can create bridges, then you see that it's important to create better relation, to create some boundaries and some separation. And without boundaries, there's no respect. There is no trade.
A big
There is no
wall,
opportunity for creating growth,
1,000 miles long. That's good for somebody.
to protect our people, to keep the American people safe. I
Go
mean,
to Europe.
it is
Does
about
Europe
our
have these big
country.
walls separate? You know, each country has a big wall separating itself from its neighbors.
Well, not every
What do
country
we
has
need
the
this
same
for?
problem of having, rapists coming into the country and making
Rapists
it
come.
like happen like that. Not
Not
every
every
country has
Mexican,
their
most of
neighbor
the Mexicans that
coming
come here are
that are
not
taking
rapists.
over
They're
our
criminals.
country, and this is what's happening. And so Trump, unlike other presidents, is ready to put boundaries, and he actually said he would build a wall, and he's building this wall.
Because he doesn't know how to get along with the Mexicans, so he wants to make a wall to separate us. That's not good for anybody. It's expensive
You know
and
what?
it's
You know,
horrible.
speaking
A
about
wall between
international,
us and another country? Okay, okay, enough.
that's
Uh,
it. Okay.
am I making you like me,
No,
respect me,
definitely not.
uh, happy that you married me?
You know, it takes some.
Of course not, the same as before. Now we're going to do it again. I'll treat you like a friend.
Okay.
Put me down for having voted for Biden.
Can't believe you voted for Sleepy Joe. I mean, like, the man is not what I believe our children should look up into a president. I mean, He's wishy-washy. He has no real substantial policy on the table. He just happens to be a nothing man that's against Trump, which is why people are voting for him. Because you know what? When you're a true leader, you have people that love you and that you people that hate you. And that's what Trump is about. He can acknowledge and serve the American people and be okay with the people that don't like him. He can take it. He's not going to not sleep at night just because people don't like him. He knows that his good policies are going to be debunked by fake media.
You're not concerned about the divisiveness that's been taking over our country since Trump became president?
It's so easy to blame divisiveness on Trump. People can decide whether they want to be divided or not. And it's such a liberal view to assume that the government or Trump is responsible for the divisiveness of the country. People can decide for themselves. They can decide that they disagree with President Trump and not decide to have to be divided. I mean, it's their choice. They don't have to go in the street and loot store. What kind of behavior is that? Like, talk about being a human. Like, this is below.
Um, so you don't think that the way Trump talks about Democrats and the way he puts people down if he doesn't agree with them, you don't think this has contributed anything to the divisiveness plaguing the country?
Look, I don't say that anything that Trump says is God's sent message. But what I do believe is that at the end of the day, he gets things done. He gets peace treaties in the Middle East. He gets more money in your bank account than anyone. Like, if Biden wins, good luck with seeing how your bank account is going to be impacted. I'd love to see how that works.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure that things will get better under Biden. Who knows? We can't tell the future. But why do you think that Biden came out the front runner in the Democratic primaries? Why did they choose him to be their
because it's the
presidential
closest
candidate?
thing to the Obama era that liberals are nostalgic about. That's all. They miss their Obama. This is the closest thing that they have. So this is good enough for them. But it's not that they really love Biden. And you know what? I think that people believe in a politician that is not like a politician, that will speak his truth, that will tell what's on his mind in the middle of the night. And you know what? People miss that. People can relate to Trump. They feel that they're connected to him.
A lot of people relate to Trump, but I see so many people hating him passionately. Why do they hate him so much?
Why do they hate Trump so much? That's a good question, but it's not my question to answer. I mean, to be honest, you're the one that hates Trump, and I can't believe that you voted for someone that has no vision. Like, I, it's appalling to me that you could be voting for someone that is so lacking energy and can't finish his sentence. Is that what you see for yourself? Because that's not what I want for our couple.
The truth is, Andy, I'm concerned about how Biden is today. He's gotten older, and it doesn't seem to me that he is what he used to be. I think he used to be more dynamic. His memory was better. I'm a little bit concerned about Biden.
So
It
you're
wasn't.
voting for Biden of the past, but the election is today. It's like, okay, you're gonna vote for a dead guy just because a few years ago he was the greatest, best person? Like, come on, let's be realistic. Like, vote for a real human that can handle the job. Like, this is the most important job role in United States. Let's find someone that can do the job, and Trump can.
It's a really important job, but I'm really concerned about Trump's behavior. He has turned many, many people against him, and that really concerns me.
I hear that it concerns you, but it doesn't make your vote something that I respect.
I mean, I respect your vote. The nice thing about living in America is that we're a democracy, and we have different candidates, and it's legitimate to vote for somebody, for people to vote for different people, and we're still friends. That's what
Look,
democracy is. We have different opinions. We see things differently.
I
And
totally agree on that point. And the thing is that while I can accept and I have no choice but accept your vote, you have the right to vote, that doesn't need to mean that I need to stay in a relationship with someone that would vote for a person like Biden.
you would actually leave me because I voted for Biden?
I think that I could leave you for what's underneath your vote for Biden.
What's underneath my vote for Biden?
It's the fact that your values might be the ones of somebody like Biden. And if we clash so much at a core level, then yes, I would consider leaving a person with whom I don't share a common vision for life. I think that when you're
Annie,
married, you need a common vision for life. And political views is an expression of life vision.
Annie, how long do you know me?
40 years.
A long time. Does it seem to you like my values are bad?
So values are expressed into action and behaviors. And while I
The thing is,
believe that
when
your
it comes to
values were
drugs,
great and are great, if when it's time to practice your values, you're not practicing what you're preaching, then you're incoherent. And that is as bad as having bad values.
yeah, Annie, for me, Biden wasn't the absolute best choice in the world. For me, an election really is voting between the lesser of two evils. It was a tough decision. I don't know if Biden's going to be a good president, but I'm really unhappy with many of the things that Trump does, especially his manner. I think he could be more successful if he had a better manner, but he turns people off. And I think he's caused a lot of divisiveness. You know, my value is peace. And I don't think that he, on all fronts, he's done such a good job at that. You know, anybody who disagrees with him, he calls them an idiot or crazy. It concerns me. But I
I
mean,
understand
personally,
it concerns me, but
I have, I, you are the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm perfectly okay with your voting for your candidate of choice, and I respect it. I would never think of leaving you because you voted for Trump.
see, that's the problem. Like, you're making me the bad person because I'm considering putting the real problem on the table. And that's what Trump does.
But
He's
but you,
actually honest. And you're like saying, like the liberals, you're like saying, I want peace and I want all those great things. But at the end of the day, what really happens could be way more disastrous than like staying in a marriage where we don't share core values, or trying to be nice with everyone, but then it ends up like backfiring. And I think that at the end of the day, if we look at the policies and what he's actually doing for the people, it ends up being people are better off with Trump than without. And if you can't accept that and
it
can't see that,
could
it's
be,
appalling to me to a deeper core level. And look, I'm
but
I'm done with this conversation.
and
I can't
you
anymore.
know, let's say for 40 years I've been respectful towards you. I've been a good husband, a good father, a good provider. I'm considerate to you. I try to make you happy, but I happen to vote for Biden instead of Trump. But I'm still respectful towards you. Would you consider divorcing me for it?
No, especially if we have that type of conversation and we can go deeper.
That's right. If couples want to get along, they have to realize that the problem is not that their spouse supported the other candidate. The problem is they get angry at the spouse for having voted for another candidate, and they treat them like an enemy, and they start defending their own candidate and putting down the other candidate, so it turns into a fight. You're not my enemy just because you voted for the other candidate. You're my friend. By the way, was it you who sent me the picture of that lawn sign that says uh, um, the voting is over, be calm, we're friends? Was it you who sent me that or somebody
Yes,
else?
I did
Yeah, you
sense
sent
that.
that to me. So, you know, this is, I agree with that. And this is what I'm trying to demonstrate. Uh, the people think it's just like with bullying. If let's say I'm overweight and you're calling me fatso all the time, I think that you're calling me fatso because I'm overweight. No, the real reason you keep on calling me fatso is because I get upset with you for calling me fatso. It's the same thing with political views. If you think differently from me politically, the problem is not that you think differently. The problem is I'm getting angry at you for thinking differently. That's what destroys the relationship, the anger. But
So
if
I
I
think
realize you have a right to think differently, then I'm not angry at you and I still love you and we have a nice relationship.
I think that's what's interesting in your example is that if I were to call you fatso, then likely it's something, a perception of myself that I see in you that is making me call you fat. So it's actually my problem. And the fact that you get angry is just feeding into it and allowing me to express that anger that I may have against myself towards you. So you're just a victim of my own internal drama that I may have. But that's another question. But I just find it interesting to bring up.
It could be, if you call me fat, so it might reflect something bad about you, your own weakness. But also it could be reflecting the fact that you want me to be skinnier. Maybe you care about me, you want me to be skinnier, so you call me fatso. But it
And I
turns
think
it,
that's an interesting thing that you say, exactly. And the care, and when we're able to sort of reframe of like what's behind things, then there's a spectrum of option and possibilities, and how to handle it. And definitely coming it with a, like, taking a break and taking a breath, and being able to come with curiosity definitely changes the dance. Because at the end of the day, the reason why it escalates is because you're dancing the angry dance of, like, and so it becomes a complementary like um I forgot the word in English, but like it,
a dance.
yeah, but no, the
By the way,
um
there's a best-selling book called The Dance of Anger
yeah,
by Harriet Lerner.
okay.
That's her name. It's a dance. We dance with each other. The question is it going to be a dance where we're trying to hurt each other, or is it a dance where we're loving each other?
Yeah, so it definitely, and that's I think the important message. When one person decides that they're going to change the type of dance, it changes the whole dance. So if you decide that you're not going to tango with me, then it, because it takes two, then it creates a whole new dance. So thank you, Izzy, for this display today of how we can change the dance in a couple. I really appreciate you taking the time to work with me on that one.
And I thank you too, because I highly respect your intelligence, your breadth of knowledge, and you're a wonderful person. And when I say people should uh, think of you as their coach, I mean it.
Thank you. But we
By the
can we
way,
can talk about that
I
another
would
time.
like the listening audience to know that Annie left a job that pays 180,000.
Whoa, we don't talk. We don't need to talk about my salary.
Talking about that, oh, because you didn't pay taxes on the 180,000. Yeah. Uh, if you want me to cut it out, I'll cut it out. But you left a very high-paying job in order to be a coach, and people should respect that.
Well, let's hope they can respect once they get a chance to see the difference I can make in their life. So I think that's, and the value I bring, that's my core mission in life. So that's what I'm focused on. But thank you for our time today. I always enjoy our conversation, Izzy. So
It was fun for me also.
thank you.
I hope the viewers enjoyed it too.
Okay, take care.
Okay.